Sorry guys, I gotta adjust the camera. Because you're not gonna be able to see what I'm doing. I'd rather have you see what I'm doing than see me. How's that? I can be like this.
You can move everything over a little bit.
I can, but it'll be alright. Let's turn it up a little. Can you turn that one down though?
Okay.
So Darian's helping me. Hey! Oh, hi Cherie! Darian's here helping me adjust my camera and stuff, so. Hey, it's 7 o'clock, Tuesday night. I'm Tasha, your Simple Solutions Specialist, and you're live from the Smoky Mountain Homestead. Live. We are live. We did get iced in on New Year's Eve. We were supposed to go to a party down in town, but Alan went out to check the road, and it was, like, he actually slid down past, like, he stepped onto the road to check it, and he slid down past the neighbor's house, like, he was road surfing. So that was like, he comes in and he's like, so we didn't end up going. We stayed home, which was fine. It was fine. Yeah, so I'm just sitting here. I'm crushing mustard seeds because I'm going to show you guys how I make my mustard. My cousin Randy specifically requested this, so that is what we are doing. There's a whole bunch of different ways to make them too, so somebody else was just here. Yeah, so if there's anything specific you guys want me to do, I do. We make almost all of our own condiments. So, because what I started doing actually was I'd buy something and then I'd look at it and I'm thinking, oh, well, somebody had to make this before it was commercially produced, right? So then I look at the ingredients and go, oh, well, I can totally make that. So, and I do a lot of my own like spice blends. Like, I have my own version of Emerald's Bam that is a little bit more, I think it has a little more kick to it than the regular one, but we like our stuff a little bit spicy too. So I'm sitting here crushing these up. Yeah, so we had a really good holiday. We went down to Alan's mom's house. We had a really good time. We had a, ooh, I had a jumper just now. Yeah, we went to Tractor Supply yesterday, and they had, I'll get it, I'll show you. Ugh. So I have been wanting one of these, and I just couldn't bring myself to buy it, but it's for cooking, it's a Dutch oven for cooking over the fire. There, you can see it. Yeah, it's a really good size too, plunk. It's seasoned, but it looks like it needs to be seasoned some more. It's not all pretty and shiny the way it should be, so I gotta work on that. But it was on sale for 40% off, so I got it for like $17.99. I was like, oh, for $17.99, I'll take it. So that's awesome. I'll be working on seasoning that because I want to get it good and non-stick before I use it out over the fire too. And it's been so cold here. It got down to 0 last night. Holy moly. Oh man, it's been just so cold. We get up in the morning and, I mean, Alan had to, as much as I don't like it, I put it off as long as I can, but he had to put plastic over the windows because the house is old and the windows don't seal all that great. So, so he puts plastic over them, but even still, like I got up in the morning, I think it was yesterday, it was freaking 55 degrees in this house. It was so cold. But you know what? The wood stove works great. It works really fast too. So we put a fire in there and it's enough to take the chill off. I mean, you're still wearing, you know, socks and slippers. Chula, what's the matter? She thinks she can't open the doggy door because it's frozen. Can you help her? Is it frozen? Well, it gets hard and so it's not floppy, so they think that they can't open it. Or open the other door for them. Yeah, so it works really well. When we first got here, Alan had to like finagle with it. It wasn't working so great, but it does now. And eventually we want to get a different one that has a bigger, flatter top on it so that I can actually cook on it. And it gets downright hot in here. Like, look, what is she? I don't know what she's barking at. I'll be like, oh, the lights came on out there. That's what it was. I was like, what the heck is that? So it'll get really, really hot in here, and so we will turn on the air conditioner, which just means open one of the doors and let some of the hot air out. So we could let some of the hot air out, but Darian would have to stop talking. Ha, ha, ha. Wah, wah. What? Hey, stop. All right, so tonight I'm going to make a version of mustards that I make. I love mustard. You know what? Like even on fries and whatever, I'm always all about the mustard. So, and I'm crushing these a little bit before I let them soak because I don't know. I just feel like it. I get more of the mustard flavor out of it. So let's talk about the mustard seeds. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds of mustard seeds out there, but these are the two most common. So you have your yellow mustard seeds, waka waka waka, and you have your brown mustard seeds, or black. The darker, yeah, waka waka. So if you want your mustard to be more on the spicy side, then you'll want to use more of the darker seeds. They're a lot. They're more pungent. They have a lot stronger flavor than these are the seeds that like your regular yellow mustard is made out of. Although when you make them from seeds like this, you still are going to have a stronger flavor too. So there's that. So today I'm just making one with just this. I might add a little bit of this after. Try mixing caramelized onions. Oh, so good. That is so good. You know what? That would be so good on top of a burger. Oh, yeah. Baby. So, so I'm crushing up the yellow seeds to get more of the flavor out before I soak them. And then before I do the soaking, I can add a few of these so you don't get it, so it's not super spicy. If you want it super spicy, you could actually like pulverize, I wouldn't totally pulverize them, but you could use mostly black. I wouldn't ever use all brown or black because it would just be so strong. You would just have hot and no flavor, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then put them in whole. So you get a little bit of that heat, but not like, holy crap, I'm dying kind of heat. So, okay, what time is it? Oh, it's only 7 after. Here I am rambling on. I was going to tell you guys some other things too that I've been doing. Oh man, I was busy today. This kitchen was busy. You can see all those pots cleaned back there. I had, so I made a like bean and beef and vegetable stewy soupy thing for dinner. So last night I had the kidney beans soaking. So I soaked them and then I had to cook them today before I put them in the soup, stewy thing. So, so I had to do that, and then I made laundry detergent because we ran out. I was like, oh crap. So yesterday I actually didn't even do any laundry. I usually do 1 load a day. But yeah, yesterday I didn't do any because we didn't have any laundry detergent, and I'm certainly not going to go out and buy laundry detergent when I've got everything I have to make it here. And then I made the soupy doopy stuff. That was really, really good. I got to remember what I put. I should post that recipe. I got to remember what I put in it though. Stoop. It is. It's a stoop. Or is it a... It would be... Yeah, I guess. Because you wouldn't be able to combine it the other way, would you? It would be S-O-U-E-W. That doesn't work. Yep, it's stoop. So it turned out really, really good though. So, and it was pretty easy. So, okay. These I think are crushed. You can't even really tell that a bunch of them are crushed up. But, and it's probably easier or quicker if you do it with your, with a spice grinder or a coffee grinder or whatever. But it's such a little bit of stuff that I hate to drag it out and this, you know, aggressions out. I really don't have any aggressions that I can think of. So, okay. So, yeah. So actually, if you wanted to find this recipe, I've already posted it online. It's on my Smoky Mountain Homestead page. and that it under notes. So just go to notes and then scroll down and it's under there. So this is 6 tablespoons of mustard seeds. The recipe says to do them whole, but you know why I don't like to. So, and I'm not usually one for following directions anyways. I always look at a recipe and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. I can totally fix that. So I'm putting that into my little jar. And there's going to be liquid in there and they expand. So that's why I'm using this size of a jar. I found it. Don't ask me how I figured this out. I was using the little like jelly sized jar. And yeah, so these expand when you get them wet. So just don't forget about that. That was interesting. So, okay, there's that. And then this is 1/3 of a cup of dry white wine. I might have to pour me a glass in a minute. That's that, and that just goes right in there. And then 2 tablespoons of, it says more white wine, so if you wanted to do like a white wine mustard, you wouldn't add the cider vinegar. You would add only the white wine. So, but I'm doing a regular one. So, I got apple cider vinegar, and that is 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. I don't know where Darian went. He's probably hiding. Oh, I can have Alan come and tell you. We had an issue with our chicken water freezing, like frozen like a block of water. I have to have him come in and tell you how he's attempting to remedy that. We'll see. All right, and half a teaspoon of salt. You know what? I'm not usually one for super measuring, so, and I like to use kosher salt in this. You could use sea salt. I just like the flavor of kosher salt in things that are like vinegary. I like the flavor, so just half a teaspoon or some. You know, it's mustard. It's not an exact science, because you know what I say about that. A pinch of ground allspice. I have allspice berries, but I'm not going to pull out my spice grinder to grind up, you know, 2 allspice berries. So I just go ahead and use this cheapy stuff. And it's just a pinch. So it'd be like, why would I? Because you don't need much. And then a little bit of black pepper, a couple grinds, or if you like, you could do black peppercorn, mustard. You can do all kinds of stuff. So that's it. That's all the ingredients, and then shake it up. Shake it up, buttercup. That's it. So you're gonna let that sit in the refrigerator for 24 hours, at least 24 hours. I like to do at least 48, because the more it soaks it up, the more flavor you're gonna get in there. And what you can do, if you want it spicy but not, oh, hey, Miriam. If you want it spicy but you don't want to use the dark brown mustard seeds, you can use a little bit of horseradish. So you could do like a horseradish mustard thing. You can add, instead of, that's Alan's arm. He's such a nerd. You can add beer to it. So instead of doing all white wine, you would probably want to do the apple cider vinegar and beer. You can do that. Although I wouldn't use Corona, I would use a good dark German beer. Oh, I guess you could use this, and then you'd have Mexican mustard. Olay. Yeah. So that's that. So you're going to let that sit and get all good, and it's kind of gel up because the mustard seeds are going to absorb a lot of this moisture. You'll still have some in there. It'll be kind of like slushy. And then, so let me see. It says, that's it, 3 to 4 tablespoons of water. So then you're going to take this out and put it in a blender and blend it up. You're going to add between 2 and 4 tablespoons of filtered water, depending on how thick this mixture is. And you'll be able to judge it. And I do like a half a tablespoon at a time. I don't do much, just because I want to make sure that the consistency is right. Yeah, so that's really it. You could add honey to this, where you'd have a honey mustard. Any of those fancy mustards that you see on the store, like just look at it and see what they added to it. And honey, we use this little bear thing over and over again. I keep refilling it because it's easier for Darian to. He loves biscuits or toast with honey on it, so we buy honey, buy the big giant thing like that, and then we refill this because he goes through it. He loves. Ooh, that's like one of those on the vaudeville show, and they pull the. Yeah, so that's that. And then what else have I been up to? Yeah, see, mustard is super, super easy. So you guys got to make some and then tell me what you made. My boy would love the honey. Yeah, and it's so easy. And you can make, like, because you buy these little jars. I mean, the fancy mustards are like this size. And you're paying like $4. I'm like, I'm not paying $4 for that much mustard. When I can buy these mustard seeds. So I bought all these mustard seeds, and I think I paid $4 and something. I'm pretty sure. Which is about the price of buying one little tiny thing of fancy mustard. And then you can make all your different kinds of mustards with it. So, yeah. So just make sure that you use the pint-sized jar, not the jelly jar, because they do expand. Honey, come and tell them about the frozen water. That was an adventure. It's Alan. Hi, Alan.
So we went out this morning and we are chicken waterer, which has the little nipples on the bottom, cracked around one of the nipples. So I took another 5-gallon jug that we had and drilled some holes and put them in there. It was working fine. And then we went out this morning and it was frozen, or went out yesterday.
Yesterday.
And it was frozen solid.
And it's, what, that's a 5-gallon bucket.
It's a 5-gallon bucket, frozen solid.
5-gallon bucket of water. So that's a 5-gallon ice cube.
We had a whole high of like 18 yesterday at our house. So we went out today and we got a galvanized 4-gallon bucket thing. And
this one doesn't have a lid though.
No lid. But we got a submersible heater that we put in there, and so far so good. I mean, the water wasn't warm by any means, but it wasn't cold. It was just kind of like cool to the touch, but didn't have any ice, so I think I'm going to let it go overnight tonight.
Are you?
Yeah.
You excited to do that? I'm going to get myself a glass of wine. I'm going to let him talk.
I'm going to let it go overnight tonight because it's supposed to get down. It's what, like 13 now or something?
Yeah. Last night it got down to 0.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be cold again tonight, and we'll see if it keeps the water from freezing, or at least freezing enough. So
enough.
So we will see in the morning how well it works. But
I hope it does.
Well, this particular one is rated for up to 25-gallon container.
What the heck is that?
It's kind of the smallest one we could find, and it pulls. It's rated at 2 amps. So I just have it hooked up with an extension cord, and it's working fine. The extension cord's not getting hot or anything, and I have it plugged into a. It says plug it into a GFCI, but I don't want to have to install.
What's GFCI?
Ground fault.
Something.
Well, it's like the little ones you have in your kitchen. So
Oh.
that if there's something happens, the ground will trip and keep your chickens from getting electrocuted if there's a problem. I don't have one in the basement, so I have it plugged into my power strip.
Right on, Cherie.
That I have my miter saw plugged into. So if it can handle my miter saw, it should be able to handle this. The miter saw pulls more amperage. So, but that way, if something does happen, at least it will trip that, which is what it's designed for also. So.
He's the electronics guy, not me.
All right, so it's not a GFCI, but it should work, and we'll see what happens in the morning.
Yeah, I hope it's not frozen.
Me too.
Or even if it is, I hope it thaws that water really quickly. I guess it's going to depend on how cold it gets.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Ugh.
We'll see.
I love
So
you.
should I make my exit? This.
Can you plug that in for me, baby? Thank you. I love you. Yeah, so that was our big adventure today, was going out, and we actually bought one water or heater for it that like sits underneath the bucket, and then you set the bucket on top of it. But that made the bucket too tall, so he had to take it back to the Tractor Supply, which is all the way on the other side of town. It's like 6 miles away. And get the one that he has in there now, the submergible one. So, yeah. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys that I made, we have some friends that ordered some elderberry tincture from me. So I figured if I have to make some for them, I might as well make a big old batch. So we don't have fresh elderberries here right now. I wish we did. That would be awesome, but we don't. So I went to our local little health food kind of place store. It's called Zuli's. Shout out to Zuli's. They've got all kinds of stuff. So I bought a whole bunch of dried elderberries, like a bunch. There was a lot, and I probably paid like $8 for them. That's a lot of elderberries. When they're dried like that, that's a lot of elderberries. So what I did was I put about a quarter and a third of the jar full of the dried elderberries. If you're using fresh elderberries, you would want to smush them first and then use like 3/4 of the jar full of the berries. And then I filled it with Everclear. Everclear is great. I prefer that to like vodka. I have made some tinctures with bourbon. They just don't have the pulling power. And you know, when you make a tincture, it's for medicine. It's not for, it's not juice. It's not like it's medicine. So it's gonna taste like butt anyways. So yeah, so I use Everclear, and this will sit in the cupboard for probably, I like to give it at least a month. But the longer it sits there, the stronger it gets. And then once it's done, you just take it out and strain out the elderberries, and then I put it in one of the little bottles that has a little dropper thing. And then when you need to take some, you just do it on, what do they use for? You know what you would use them like you would like echinacea for like coughs and colds and things like that. So you would just take one dropper full and then just under your tongue, and it's going to be strong because it's Everclear. So it's going to be like, oh, that was really actually awful. But it's better than being sick. And a lot of people take, during like cold and flu season, they'll do a dropper full of this stuff every morning. I can't imagine. I have a whole bunch of tinctures in there, and I'm like, they're like my last resort, because, I mean, I know they work really well, but I hate taking tinctures. They're really... Well, because Everclear, I mean, think about it. What if you took a shot of Everclear? It's going to burn your soul. So, yeah, so that's what this is doing. This is only about a week old. And it'll, like, you can see how dark it is. And it got that way, like within 24 hours. Because elderberries are really dark berry. So, but that's basically the way that you make a tincture. But you just need to make sure, you can just look it up online. It's super easy. Hey, Louise, how are you? You can just look it up online, the proportion of the herb or berry or whatever to the amount of alcohol that you put in there. And you can do it with vodkas. You can do it with, anything that's you want a pretty high proof something. Heck, you could do it with moonshine if you wanted. We've got some nice moonshines here that you could do it with. Maybe that would take the sting out. Well, the Elevated Mountain here has and I actually don't like vodka. I'm not a big vodka fan. My drink is the vino. But their vodka, you guys, is actually really, really good. I was surprised, because I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go do this. Oh, Louise, you went and did the tasting that night, didn't you? It was really good. Alan likes their, what is that, root beer moonshine, baby? Yeah, it's a root beer moonshine. So, and I know that they ship. So, if you guys want to get some and ship it to somebody, that'd be a primo present. What else? I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? Oh, wow, it's 25 after already. Oh, I wanted to tell you, so we didn't do our emergency preparedness tip last time. So this time, what I'm working on right now is I'm making like little contact cards. Yeah, it was vanilla. Yeah, I think you're right. It was like a vanilla vodka that he's got there, or something like that. But then he's got like a straight up moonshine. Boy, that thing, I was like, peace out, baby. That's where I got off the train. So like just little cards that are, you can print them on anything that's like a business card size. And it's just your basic information. So like for Darian, it would be contacts. So me and Alan and my best friend, Roseanne, who lives down in Louisiana. You want to have somebody, a contact that's out of state, as well as the in-state and emergency contacts. And then things like, you don't really need the address because you probably got your ID in there, but you could put stuff like your doctor's name, your insurance number if they need it, things like that. And just, you could laminate it or not, whatever, and then just stick it in your wallet. It's just a good thing to have in there. So that's what I'm working on now, is making one for each of the three of us to have in our wallets. And then, are you going outside?
Yeah, I'm going to go turn that thing on.
Oh, the water? Yeah, he's going to go fiddle around with our watering thing. I hope it works, because we got to do something. Our chickens have to have water. What I have discovered is that they won't lay, I mean, they still lay eggs, but without having access to a ton of good, like fresh water like that, I mean, production goes, woo. It's like their lube. Man, they got to have their water. So when other things have happened and they ran out of water or whatever, all of a sudden the production goes down. So like yesterday was really good. And make sure your if you have any medications or things that you can't have, if you're allergic to something, or a note that says, hey, I have an EpiPen in my bag or something, just the things that are going to be really important to know. So that's what we're working on this week, and then I got to look and see what we're going to work on next week. One of my goals for the next couple months is to build Alan a get home bag for his truck. I have one in my truck or car, in case, everybody got iced in over here and people were stuck on the highway they had no food, no extra socks, no emergency blankets, no nothing. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. People were sliding off the road, or it could be something like, you're out and about and, the car breaks down. You need water, you need to be able to at least survive until somebody shows up. Yeah, so that was that. And then, what else? Oh, next week I'm going to do Darian is going to help me do a video on making my laundry detergent. Because I did one before, but my phone would only let me do like 4 minutes of a video at a time. And so it's like 3 separate videos. And I have a friend that taught me how to combine them, but now I can't find the dang videos. So I got to redo it, which is fine. No big deal. Darian said he would help me. So I'll do that next week. And I'll get that posted on my YouTube channel. And so don't forget to follow me on YouTube. You can find me I'm all over the place, you guys. Pinterest as Simple Solutions Specialist. On YouTube, I'm Smoky Mountain Homestead. On Twitter, I'm Simple Solutions Specialist, or Tasha C, I think it is. Tasha Elizabeth C, something like that. What else am I on? Instagram, Simple Solutions Specialist. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm all over the place. So you guys come out and hang with me. Make sure, I'd love it if you guys go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it and go on there and like some videos and stuff, because it helps my viewership go up. I'm just starting, and it'll help me know like what kind of videos you guys like to see too. And I'll be posting this one to it. And then I think that is it. That's what I've got for tonight. So put in the comments anything specific you want me to show you what I do or don't do or whatever, and then I'll make it happen. What does it say? Make it so, #1, something like that. yeah, so that is it, and peace out. Be the change. See you next week.